What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel. I'm Bree.
And I'm Evan.
And this is Reality Check TV. Here's where we discuss some of our favorite reality shows to watch together as a couple. So if you love reality TV like we do, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we post a new video.
With the quickness.
Yes. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are glad to be here with you. I hope you're glad to be here with us. We are here for another review of Love and Marriage Hunstville, episode 15. And we didn't realize last week that this is going to be the, I guess, like summer mid finale. So the show actually doesn't come back until September. So we have a little bit of a break. But we got some things to talk about. You know, we got some scenes and some people that continue, you know, just to annoy us. But we're here to discuss, to get out all of the frustration like we always do. You want to just get into it or what?
We need to dig into this.
We do.
Quite eventful.
Not really, but really. Yeah, I agree. So let's get into it. Okay, so Stormy is cussing out Marcel, rightfully so. The episode is picking up where the last one left off, as always. And this is Marcel being a complete asshole and unprofessional, him and his raggedy wife. And Stormy's not here for it, right? For the most part, I agree with Stormy. I see where she's coming from. Absolutely. They are just both janky. You know, they're the janky promoters. And they clearly don't know what they're doing when it comes to business or anything for that matter. But Marcel is still trying to backpedal and try to make it seem like he was not trying to manipulate and take, I guess, just embarrass Stormy. I guess it's the best word to describe it, and just take advantage of the situation. And really trying to stronghold her for money. It's like, dude, I don't even have words for how unprofessional and just raggedy the situation is. Stormy's not having it. She called foul from the moment he approached her asking her for $100. And she's like, you know, it's not about the money, because he kept trying to make it seem like, oh, like, you know, we can just waive it. It's not that big of a deal. Like, you really hurting for $100? Like, no, dude, it's not about the actual money. Ain't nobody crying over a raggedy $100 bill. That's not what it's about.
Yeah, Stormy definitely ain't.
Right. That's not what it's about. It's the principle of the thing, and the fact that you're coming to her the day of, and the way you approached her is just completely out of line. It's disrespectful. Not here for it. Stormy did not appreciate the whole situation, and she was trying to talk to Tisha, and Tisha's just sitting there with a dumb face like, I don't know. Like, girl, you knew it was wrong, because you said it last week when he came to you first and said that he was going to go talk to her about $100. Like, she said it was tacky, because it is tacky.
Like I said before, when you have all these lawsuits against you, you need as much money as possible. Well, Marcel woke up that morning, saw the bill for that lawyer, and said, we got to charge people.
It was just ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. So Stormy, like I said, she was not here. She was not here for it. And Marcel, in his passive aggressive ways, because like I said, he continued to like backpedal and make it seem like he wasn't doing what he was doing. And Stormy was like, you don't want to see about Courtney. Okay. And she walked away from there, and she was just like, you know, it's just so unprofessional. I'm never doing business with you guys again. Like, is this how you guys conduct business? Now, we know that Tisha and Marcel are raggedy. We know that, right? My thing is, I'm going to repeat what I said last week. As much as I recognize how janky the situation is, I also am looking at Stormy's side eye, because Stormy, you are the one that has the successful business that's actually pushing out products. You know what it means to be a part of or partnering with other businesses. And I'm going to assume that you've been a part of other expos, if that's what we really want to call it, or black markets. Like, you know better. And when you decided to jump on this bandwagon and be a part of this, whatever this situation is, you should have been asking the questions during that walkthrough that you did, which was, 2 episodes or last episode ago? You should have been asking the questions. You should have asked, well, are there specs of the space? Do we have like assigned spaces or tables in here? Is everything going to be in here? Is there a vendor fee? Like, you should have been asking all of the questions, but no, you was too focused and too happy on replacing Mel and being part of the comeback group. And it's like you completely fumbled the ball to me. And so now look at you. This is the team that you chose. These are choices. These are choices. This is what you wanted. You wanted so bad to be Team Sky. And look where it got you. So it is time for the Black Expo. The Black Expo is live, y'all. It's actually happening, right? We are here. And there was a lot of little miniature scenes and miniature side conversations. Some are kind of like funny and some of them, are worth talking about, and then others aren't. So we're going to fly through all of those stupid scenes, okay? Let's start with Mel. So Mel comes with Marcus, her brother, to the Black Expo. They come in. Mel's like, oh, it's cute. This is nice. All right. I know I'm going to buy me something today. She's trying to be a good sport, trying to support. And she was approached by Marcel, and she was like, oh, or he says to her, oh, are you speaking today, Mel? And she's like, no, not speaking. No, we're not doing that. I don't even know why you came up to her and asked her that question, but okay. Then we have Martel come into the Black Business Expo with no business. He has no wine. He has no suits. He has no cookbook. He has nothing to do with real estate or, construction. He don't have a builder's license. I just don't understand why he's here. I have no idea. I have no idea why he's here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Martel claimed, so I'll put it this way. He had a conversation with Maurice where Maurice was pretty interested in trying to figure out why Martel didn't have a booth set up. He's like, you have your wine business, why you're not out here, marketing your stuff. And, Martel claimed, oh, well, I want to give everybody else a chance. I've had so many, wine shows recently. It's unfair for me to keep, marketing mine. I want to give the community a chance. No, you didn't. Where's this wine being sold at again?
There's no damn wine. I don't
But
know.
I thought it was an interesting comment because Maurice was talking in his little confessional saying, it's kind of weird because when Mel and Martel were together, this would not taken place. Mel would have made sure that whatever business they had going on would have been up there, would have been marketed, and would have had a presence. And as y'all see the drop off when Mel leaves Martel's life,
I mean, we established that a long time ago, though.
Well, this is another area of the drop off that we see in person.
Yes, it was just so pointless. There was no reason for Martel to be there. Martel doesn't need to be a part of every scene. Stop forcing it.
So we had another scene that I thought was pretty interesting. We see Lewis and Tiffany for the first time all season, it seems like. I guess Lewis didn't have a baseball game this week and Tiffany wasn't out doing Tiffany things. I don't know. But, they came in to show their support, and I thought it was very interesting because I believe it was it Martel or Marsaw asked, oh, are you going to speak?
Martel asked Lou if Lou was speaking on the panel.
And my thing is, speak on a panel? This is our first time seeing him all season. Like, can we warm Lou up to what's going on?
Well, that's not the most important part about this, though. The important part is Tiff was like, what panel? What? Who's speaking at what? Because they found out about the expo the day before. Because again, remember, Tisha and her husband are janky promoters. So Tisha reaches out to Tiffany the night before about some sponsorship, which I'm not even gonna harp on that. I'm just done reading Tisha and her lack thereof business professionalism. I'm just done. But Tiffany felt away. I don't know how Lou felt, because Lou still didn't really speak much. Like, we still didn't hear from him. But Tiffany was basically like, you know, she kind of felt left out, and she felt like they were done wrong. Like, why were they not asked to be a part of it? Yes, she's pregnant, but she still feels like the invite should have been put on the table. Tiffany's not 100% wrong. I see where she's coming from. But girl, if you know what we know, you wouldn't want to be a part of this. Believe me. Girl, go back home and try to have this baby. You did not want to waste your time in this way, please. And while we're on them, Tiff went to go speak to Stormy, and Stormy was venting to her about what was going on with her business at the time. But they were also started talking about this whole unorganized event. And like Tiffany said, what did she say? She said it was she used a specific term
describing the event.
Yeah,
half-baked.
Yeah, she said it was half-baked.
I thought it was Stormy.
One of them said half-baked.
Half-baked.
Yeah, which was the perfect way to describe it.
Half-baked, half-assed.
Right.
You know, it was a shit show.
Right.
You know, it was literally an event like, hey, Marcel came home one day. Tisha, we got to throw some type of scammy ass event, because we got so many bills due. Like, we got scam these niggas, bro. Like,
we got to put down this down payment for this apartment.
Yeah, we got to do something, man. So we have another interesting event during the Black Expo. We had Mr. Martel Holt runs into Mel's brother. What's his name again? Marcus. And as you guys know, they have quite a history. I truly feel between their relationship. Of course, y'all know Martel has crossed many lines.
He's homophobic. I mean, you can go ahead and say it. He's homophobic.
You know, of course, y'all know Martel has an issue with him and Mel's children being around Marcus and his partner, because he does not want his kids exposed to that type of lifestyle.
Because he's homophobic.
But, you know, Marcus, they run into each other, and Marcus asks, you know, how things are going and what they can do to better the situation for the kids, because, you know, everything's about the kids. So, you know, Martel hits him with the typical lines, talking about, yeah, you know, I found it interesting. He said, Mel needs to let her guard down. She needs to keep her guard up. And I'm talking about to the heavens. You know, talking about, you know, things need to be done for the kids. And with Marcus's support, you know, things would go well. Marcus is like, what support?
Because I tried to support you, nigga, for years, but you're too busy being homophobic. And I'm only going to support the situation but so far when you continue to abuse and stalk my sister. Like, listen, Marcus is a good one. Marcus is a good one. Because brothers I know, this is not a thing. Like, are you kidding me? I can't even imagine Zay, who is my brother. And he's my younger brother. He's way younger than me. This just would not be a thing. Like, I just don't understand. He's been very patient, I should say.
And, you know, so after that conversation, I thought it was interesting because Martel, you know, they walk off after that. You know, Martel's like, you know, enjoy the event. They shake hands, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, Martel gets his confession. Well, no, he walks off saying Marcus is so immature. And gets in his confessional and, you know, talks about, you know, how Marcus has been throughout the thing, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, of course, we have a big little curse out section where they bleep everything out because, you know, Martel's talking his shit, but. Yeah.
So while Martel ran into Mel's brother, Mel ran into Martel's brother. What is his name? Montez. So Montez and Mel, it's clear that they have history. Mel was really happy to see him. You know, when you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship, you start to develop personal relationships with the people that's in your partner's life. So their family, their friends. I mean, you know, Mel and Martel were together for years. Wasn't it like 14 years that they were married?
Something like that.
It was something like that. I just remember her saying that they met when she was 22. And so, of course, she formed personal relationships with his family, and it's clear that Montez is one of those people. So she even got emotional talking to him and seeing him at the event and seeing that he looks like he's doing well, like he's doing better. And, you know, she talked about how back in the day, he just constantly was making bad decisions and found himself in really just twisted situations. So it was just good to see him in this light. It was all well and good. It was like, oh, okay, this is really a moment. However, he pissed me off. And this is why. Because he said the line, we got to do it for the kids. What is wrong with them in the do it for the kids? What is he even talking about? Because Mel even said, like, you know how your brother is. Because he asked her, like, you know, how's it going? Like, how's it going between you and Martel? And then she was like, like, you know your brother, And then he was like, yeah, like, I know my brother and I know you too. And it's like, what is that? Like, we're not going to do this whole both sides foolishness. We're not going to do this both sides foolishness. We cannot. I'm done with that narrative. The abuse and the foolishness is coming from one direction. Like, let's stop. Like, we're years out of their divorce at this point, and I think we really do need to stop with the whole both sides or they're both doing something. Like, let's stop that. And this, I have to take his shit all because of the kids. I got to do it for the kids. Like, y'all need to stop with that. Like, y'all need to be telling Martel this. Let him figure that out.
So the next scene we have a little funny scene. I believe it was Martel, and Maurice. They're sitting there talking, and Maurice asks Martel, where's your plus one? And Martel startled for a second. He's like, huh? Oh, Sheree. And his excuse was, she's in California. She flew up to Cali to go visit a friend.
I don't have nothing to say about this scene.
But I just think it's funny because Martel, after Ian's confession, he's like, we're still cool. We're still talking on the phone. Kick it. We're like really good friends. And I don't know. I guess their fake contract ran out, expired for their relationship. Stay in the headlines, stay in the news. I don't keep up with Sheree.
Okay, so another quick scene that was happening during the Expo. Stormy gets a call back at her warehouse, and it seems that there were over 1,000 products that was mislabeled. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because every other scene that we got from Stormy that didn't involve her mother, it was about the business. Whether it was her firing her cousin or whether her, talking to her husband about the staff changes that they need to make or whatever the case is. Stormy, all I'm going to say is if your employees mislabel over 1,000 products, mind you guys, she was in a time crunch. She had this big distribution deal apparently, and she had a deadline for like that night. So they had to get these products to New York, I believe, by a certain time. Mm-hmm. And I think it was Courtney that was the one that called her. My thing is, first, if it was Courtney, which I believe it was, he was also the one that was left back at the warehouse. Mm-hmm. I don't understand why he called Stormy. Like, she's at an event promoting her business. Mm-hmm. I want to believe it was said that Courtney is also part owner of Canvas Beauty. I don't know if it's like a joint situation, right, or if it's all Stormy, right? Or, if they're the type of people that believes, like, because we're husband and wife, like, what my business is yours and your business is mine. I don't know what the situation is or what the makeup is, but clearly he is a part of the day-to-day because he was a part of the decision-making process when it came to firing your cousin and hiring people. So, and you trust him to stay back at the warehouse to make sure that the products get to where they're supposed to get at the time that they're supposed to be there. So if that's the case, we're going to go with he is also part owner. I just don't understand why he called Stormy to stress her out about it. He should have been the one to get the staff together and to correct that issue. Because when Courtney first called her, he was like, there was labels missing. And she was like, it can't be. Like, I printed over 1,000 labels. It can't be, there can't be labels missing. Like, I know we were over prepared when it came down to the labeling. And so on the phone, they're figuring it out that clearly there were products that was mislabeled. And so that type of mistake, I feel like it should have been caught by Courtney or whoever was in charge. And then even removing him from the situation, girl, you need to hire a new staff, because that is unacceptable. I don't know what's going on with her distribution issue. I've heard rumblings that there's been issues with getting products on time, like all of that type of stuff. So like, you need to kind of reevaluate your staff and figure that out. Because I would really hate to see your business drop because of stuff like this, because of your staff, right? Like, you know, as much as I'm like here with Stormy, like, I'm not going to say I dislike her, but I also don't like her. I don't want to see your business fail. Like, I don't root for that type of stuff. So I really want her to figure that out and make that priority with getting a whole new staff, girl. Okay, now we see that Kimmy has arrived. Kimmy was a little bit late because she just left radiation. So this woman is tired and exhausted, and she still found the little bit of energy that she does have to show up to this mess of an expo. When she gets there, she notices that her table or their company booth is way in the back, which, again, y'all, like... It goes without saying, it's janky. It's a janky event, because why would you not put the 6 front and center is beyond me. I don't know why you would be put in the back. But Kimmy felt a way about that, rightfully so. I totally get it. The only thing that I did want to bring up when it comes to Kimmy, there was a young lady that came up to her and was just thanking her about how her story has really inspired her and her family, and specifically her mom. It was because of Kimmy being open and honest about her experience and her journey with cancer that her mom went and got her breast exam. Here's my thing. The only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it makes me even more upset at Kimmy. Because this is a prime example about how strong this platform is. I think it's really funny how celebrities, but specifically reality stars, love to do this whole, you know, I am not supposed to be like a role model to your kids. I'm not supposed to be a role model for people. I'm just living my life and you guys get to see it. Like, you're not, and you're also not able to have a comment. The moment that you even give a little bit of critique, the viewers get attacked. When a reality star puts something on social media, and we respond back, we are immature, we need to get a life, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. My thing is this. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to lean heavy on the value of your platform and your influence. So in situations like this, where a woman is coming up to you and saying, hey, you inspired me to, or you inspired my mom to get a breast exam, and like you changed her life, is the same. It holds the same weight as a woman coming up to you and deciding to choose a man or choose a husband and operate in a marriage the same way you do. That's how strong the influence is. Now, mind you, I feel like for this woman, because this woman looked like she was probably like in her mid-30s or older, for her mom to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, and it was this story that made you realize that you needed to get your breast exam. I think that is like a reach, but whatever, girl. Wherever you can get your inspiration from to make sure that your health is intact, then by all means do it. But in this case, when it comes to that positive influence, just as much you have a positive influence, you have a negative influence as well. And so I'm saying all this to say, it just brings me back to how I am so extremely disappointed in Kimmy with being a part of this show and allowing her husband to move the way that he does and treat her the way that he does, and her not take agency over herself and her body. I just don't appreciate it. Like, I hope you guys understand where I'm going with it. Everybody's watching. There's other women that are watching, and like, you are inspirational to a lot of people, whoever those people are. So just be mindful of that. So I hope that you guys are not being fake with this storyline. But either way, it's not a good look because of the message that you are perpetuating in society. I cannot with it.
Okay, so the next little funny scene we have is, I guess everybody's preparing to get ready to guest speak on stage. And I know you guys know, I guess it looked like, was it a Jumbotron? It's not a Jumbotron. What's that screen that the projector hits on? I don't know.
Did you say a screen?
It was like some white screen. But anyways, everybody's sitting down to get ready for everybody to guest speak. Mel's in the audience, everybody's in the audience. And we got the slow six in the back behind the little white sheet. And everybody can see, they can see their movement because how the light is bouncing off, that white screen. You can see who's behind there. And let me tell you, the slow six, oh my gosh. Like, first of all, they forgot people can see
hear
their mannerisms back there and hear them.
And hear them.
And they're back there arguing, just looking all types of just discombobulated. They look so dumb. And Tiffany's even pointing this out. She's like, do y'all not understand we can see this, we hear this? And I just know in the stands, Mel is smirking like, And so what's going on back there is, I guess some of them get a little stage fright, some of them get nervous. And Martel, he peeks in the audience and sees, his the ex-love of his life that he's stalking.
Not the ex-love, that is the love of his life. Well, Jesus.
He sees Mel and gets stage shocked. He's like, what's Mel doing out there? Why is she not back here? I mean, dude, she did say she was not participating. Like, she said she's not participating.
Weird. That was weird.
And so I know when Martel's like, I'm not going out there. I'm not speaking. He's like, and they're just like, what? What are you talking about? And for some reason, he's bringing up his age. I'm 41. That has nothing to do with this. But he's like, I'm not speaking. And he's like, I'm changing my mind. And, I guess he got, a little scared, Mel in the audience. I guess he knew he can't really go out there and talk about businesses because she knows the truth. And she gonna be laughing and smirking about his fake ass businesses. And I think it's funny because Marcel had a little, in his confession with Tisha, he said something along the lines of, Martel, he's, it's not uncommon for him to change his mind. He does that quite frequently, taking his little shot.
Marcel's not funny to me, but yeah, sure. There's nothing funny to me about Marcel. But that scene was hilarious.
It made no sense. I don't know what was going on.
They just looked like a bunch of idiots.
They looked so slow. Like, what are y'all doing back? Like, this is supposed to be like a professional. This is supposed to be like a professional, like, expo. And literally, like, you guys are, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, you couldn't make that shit up. You guys are behind this screen with the light. Everybody can see your movement. And everybody can hear you.
You know what's funny too? Tisha was like, oh wait, they can hear us? They can see us?
Yes, with your slow ass. It was just so stupid. They were just so... Mel, you chose the right decision.
Oh my gosh. So... they end up getting on the stage, and Martel does participate, right? But I don't know if y'all peeped it. He ended up not talking. Like, we didn't get a scene from him. He ended up doing the Q&A for the audience. The only thing that I want to mention about this scene is somebody asked about venture capital.
Venture capital, yep.
I couldn't think of it off the top of my mind. Somebody asked about venture capital, right? It was a very specific question about how to either get or research venture capital and like how to seek it out. And the question, unfortunately, was directed to Marceau. Marceau, I swear, like he was mansplaining and like crossword puzzling every time
I wouldn't call it, mansplaining, but I would call it this. He was saying everything around the topic. He was not hitting on the answer. He was
going around the mulberry bush.
He thought that saying a lot of words was going to make himself sound good.
Yes, and he never answered the question.
He never answered, and he knew he never was not going to answer. Because he doesn't know nothing about that. He only knows about the 6 lawsuits they have. So
Barely. Barely. So what was really funny was Tiff and Lou was in the audience. So Tiff is watching Marceau do gymnastics around this question. And so she like kind of sit up and then she look at Lou like what this nigga talking about? What she looks like. Cause Marceau just sounds so dumb. Like he had no idea what he was talking about. And to be honest, the little clips of the scene of the panel, the only person that sounded like they knew what they were talking about was Stormy. I don't remember if Kimmy said anything. I don't remember, but Stormy was the only one, and to me, she was also the only one that could bring any type of value to the conversation because she does have a successful business. The rest of them, I'm like, what? Like, I just don't understand. Like, I just feel like it was the wrong people giving the right message at certain points. Just about tenacity and like, how to start a business and all of these positive things. Like, yes, but it's the wrong crew that's giving this advice. And then even when getting to Maurice and him talking about the credit repair, and I was like, oh, so is that what you do? Like, what specifically is it that you do? I know that you have, apparently, he has his law degree. It's like, okay, well, do you work at a firm? Do you have your own firm? Once again, I've been saying this and begging Carlos to give us a little bit more context to these people in their careers. Like, we don't get to see that. We've seen the inner workings of Mel and what she has going on. We see the inner workings of Stormy at this point as well. But with everybody else, it's just, we see Martel go into business meetings, but there's no business. I'm just like, it's wrong crew.
So the next scene we have Stormy at home with Suge Knight. Suge seems a little tired because he played a role in delivering the product. So he was in bed, and Story comes in there. And she's filling him in about her run-in with Marcella. About him approaching her the day of, and we're not going to go back into this because we already talked about it, the day of about $100. And how unprofessional it was, how he was coming at her. And, I just thought it was funny because she was just like, somebody needs to tell him to stop being a bitch. And then, Courtney in so many words, like, I can do that for you, And, Courtney was just like, I'm going to have a talk with Marcel. He was just like, you approaching my wife for $100 a day of. He's just like, that's just not good business. That's just not going to happen. So, so Suge Knight said, we'll have a conversation down the road. But he got into more of a serious topic. He decided he wanted to...
Can I say something about that, though?
Yeah.
The reason why I call him Suge Knight, y'all, or I started calling him Suge Knight, it's not because he looks like him, really, but it's more so I just feel like that Courtney is definitely the muscle of Canvas Beauty. So when things go left, she go get her bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And, you know, Courtney is intimidating. I mean, I'm just call a thing a thing. When Stormy said, like, you don't want to see about Courtney, I was like, yeah, I don't think he does. Because I know I wouldn't. Like, Courtney just don't seem like that person that you need to cross.
No, because Courtney used to play basketball. I believe he's very tall.
Basketball?
Yeah.
He used to play basketball?
Yeah, there's a picture of him in his jersey. Yeah.
Not football?
No, basketball.
Oh, wow. Well,
so I'll say Courtney's about a good maybe 6'4", 6'5". Courtney tall.
Well, I'm scared of him.
But you know, I'm waiting for Courtney to say one time. I just want to hear him say one time, come to Death Row Records. Just one time. And I've made. But,
that's what he kids.
So, you know, they're talking about a serious topic in bed. Courtney opens up about his issue and his, you know, concerns about them expanding the family. And he brings up the issue of, you know, while Stormy is giving birth, you know, the trauma he had while watching, the amount of blood, the struggle in the bed for her. And he was really questioning if she would make it. Like, he got very detailed about seeing the doctor shoveling up like buckets of blood.
That was really like gruesome to kind of hear.
Yeah.
That was,
and, you know, he really, and, you know,
blood.
And, you know, he's telling, you know, that was his thing. Like, he would love to expand the family, but not at the risk of his wife losing her life and going through that again.
Which is connected to the conversation he had with his mom last week about the fear of raising kids without one of the parents being involved or being there. So, you know, when it comes to this scene, I don't have much to say about this one. You know, I completely understand the trauma. It sounds traumatizing. It sounds extremely traumatizing. And we know the black woman's mortality rate when it comes to childbirth. It's a real humongous issue in our community these days. So I understood where he was coming from. And I'm just happy that he at least is now a little bit more open-minded about other ways to have a child, because there are other ways, and Stormy and Courtney are privileged.
And so that other way too they're talking about was a surrogate.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, that may be for them. I know they said they're gonna have more discussions. He said it wasn't a green light yet for it, but he said he'll definitely think about it and they'll talk more about it.
Yeah. All right, y'all. This is the moment. This is the moment. So Tiffany decided to contact Stormy, Kimmy, and Tisha because she wanted to take the opportunity to tell them how janky and raggedy their event was. That's really what she was saying. I don't care what Tiffany was saying on TV. That's what she meant. She was like, I just want to let y'all know that y'all are trash. And you're double trash because you also didn't even give me an invite. Like, how dare you? Like, I was supposed to be a part of this too.
And yeah, so Tiffany, you know, she was being very vocal about, it kind of rubbed her the wrong way for, like I said, not to get an invite, but not to be asked to be involved.
Yeah. And,
you know, Tiffany herself being a businesswoman, she felt like, okay, well, why was I not a part of this? You know, as much as I'm around the group, you know, blase. And I don't know, do we want to talk? Should we get to the teacher's response, or who actually? I thought there was some misconception or miscommunication about.
I got the order. So this is what happened. So once everybody gets there, Tiff expresses, you know, she kind of felt slighted with not being asked to be a part of the panel. And Kimmy was annoying the hell out of me. She kept interjecting into the conversation that I feel like Tiffany was really directing to Tisha, and was just like, you know, but it was an oversight. It was an oversight. Like, you know, you were a part of it. It just, you know, probably just got missed. Like, she kept doing that. And we was like, Kimmy, shut up. Because then here comes Tisha. Tisha was like, well, I don't even know what you do. Talking to Tiffany.
Well, Tisha, what do you know what the hell you do besides add up lawsuits?
You just gonna keep talking about these lawsuits.
Since Carlos don't want to talk about it in the show, I'll bring it to
you. Just want to keep talking about these lawsuits. But that's how she came at Tiffany. And it was kind of like, first of all, it made Kimmy look stupid. Because that's what I'm talking about. Kimmy, just shut up and eat your food. Just shut up and eat your food at this point. You didn't even need to interject. Because now, look, Tisha did that on purpose. She didn't include her on purpose. And I don't even think it had anything with her being pregnant. It was on purpose because you didn't know what she did. Now, I'm going to be honest. For me, I don't remember what Tiffany does. Why? Because they don't talk about it on the freaking show. But I don't remember. I know it's something dealing with data.
From what I know is it's a mixture of analytics and I want to say some fundraising because she did mention she raised like $3.5 million. Right. So it's something around there.
And like I said, it's something dealing with data and algorithms and for companies or corporations or something like that. And what I do know for sure is, and kind of how we was introduced to Tiffany, is that she used to work at the Chambers of Commerce. Yes. That's how she met Mel. So even when it came to community engagement and raising funds for the community or for the state, like I feel like she probably would have been able to bring a lot of valuable information to the panel discussion. Unlike the rest of the people that was on there, she has way more to say than I feel like a Martel or Marceau. So I just feel like it was a dig. It was an opportunity for Tisha to take a dig.
It was.
I also, for some reason, I just feel like Tisha she gets intimidated by other successful women, Black women. I really do feel that way. I mean, that can definitely explain the beginning of the beef that she has with Mel. I just feel like any woman that is really successful and like that comes off very like strong in nature, very articulate, and just has this powerful essence about themselves, I think she's intimidated by that.
She has a lot of envy and jealousy towards others.
Yeah. And that's so I feel like
she doesn't hide that well.
Because one thing about Tiffany, again, we don't get a lot of scenes with her, but it seems like she's very well spoken and she knows what she's talking about, especially when it comes to business. Half of this season was about her getting some rest because she works too much. So she should have been a part of the discussion, but whatever. So Tisha makes that comment, and that's when Stormy said, didn't you raise like, what'd she say, $3 million?
3.5.
Yeah, $3.5 million just recently. And Tiff was like, yeah. That's when Stormy took the opportunity to interject and be like, well, I really want to talk about the situation with your husband, like,
and pressing me for $100.
Right. Like, we weren't a part of any walkthroughs or anything until the very last minute. And it was never said to me that we had to pay for the space. And she was like, I'm the type of person where I like to have my ducks in a row. I like to have my shit in order. And so that completely threw me off. And then also how he approached me. And so here goes Tisha. She's like, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, I know like Marceau was wrong and I told him he was wrong for how he approached you. But I also think that you were wrong about your response. Like, this is you're a businesswoman and this is a business expo and it just wasn't professional. Like, sometimes in business, you're going to have those times of adversity. She didn't use the word adversity, but, you just have those times, those challenging times. And so it's about being professional. And I was like, girl. And Stormy was like, girl, let me stop you right there. What you not going to do is tell me how to conduct myself when it comes to this business shit. That's what you're not going to do, right? I was floored. But I don't think that Stormy was wrong in this situation. The part that I feel like she was wrong with is not asking the questions up front. And I feel like she's been wrong with everything else this season. But when it came to this situation, you don't get to tell me how to respond. You come at me sideways. You don't get to tell me how to respond. You just don't get to do that. Would I say like, oh, like, you don't want to see Evan. Like, no, I'm not. I don't need to even do that. I'm a businesswoman. I can do it on my own. I know how to stand up for myself. And I can get you together without even all the cuss words. I don't even got to do all of that. I do not have to do that. But I also believe in etiquette. But so that's just me. But I don't have to talk to you that way. But I will get you together because you came to me unprofessional. If it was me, I honestly would have been packing up my stuff and been, listen, that's what we would have been doing because y'all wanted me to be a part of this because you knew that I would bring more attention and more value to your event. But anyways, Stormy like goes completely off. She's like, this is not what you're going to do. You're not going to tell me you're not going to tell me anything about this business shit. That's not what we're doing. And Tisha's like, I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with you, girl? Where are you coming from? What's wrong with you? She acting dumb. That's what she does. She does a lot of throw the rock and hide her hand. So she gets to run her mouth. But the moment that you meet her with the same energy, then she's like, oh my God, I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. And that's the game that she played. Stormy was not here for it.
So, I thought it was very funny because Letitia, I don't know if you've seen through history of Stormy getting into it with, I forgot what's her name. Destiny in the past, but it's like Letitia, you're not about that life. Now Stormy's from the Henny world. You ain't gonna get the etiquette. And for you to try to threaten to go across this table, whatever with Stormy, that's not the one. Because Stormy says at the end of the day, oh, that's what you want to do. Let's get active then.
So once again, Kimmy is trying to interject and trying to whisper in Stormy's ear, you're being very condescending. Because at this point, this is when the childish part of Stormy's personality chimes in. And she's like, are you mad? Are you mad? Because Tisha's, going off and, just running off at the mouth. What's wrong with you, girl? I don't understand why you're acting like this. What is going on? She just keeps talking. And Stormy's just like, are you mad? You upset? You look upset. Hey, what's going on? What's wrong? And yeah, Kimmy just continues to try to interject. And it's just again, Kimmy, just let this happen.
I believe Kimmy was trying to tell Stormy she was antagonizing the situation.
And she was. But let it happen. Just let it happen. And then Tisha finally was just kind of she, before I even say towards the end of the conversation, she did also make a comment about how she was like, now, if I would have done that to Courtney, it would have been a problem. If I would have approached him the same way that you responded to Marceau, it would have been an issue. And Stormy was like, because you ain't stupid. You ain't stupid enough to do that. And once again, I agree. You wouldn't do that. Number one, because again, who's approaching Courtney in that way? I'm just not doing it. But two, it's I don't believe that Courtney would ever approach you or respond to you in that way. It's only your bitch ass husband that would do something like that. Cause Marceau is a wimp. He's such a punk. He's such a punk. I just wish that he grew up around the right type of men. Cause you are such a goofball. Oh my God. Ugh. You and your raggedy brother, both of y'all are lame. Y'all are not those dudes. Y'all were not those dudes back in the day growing up, and you're not the dudes now. Y'all are mad corny. Everything about y'all's personality, the way you dress, y'all have no swag. Y'all are just so ugh. And you walk around and you hold yourself on this show as if y'all are those dudes because you guys were able to find women with low self-esteem that you can be able to control. And it's nah, y'all ain't meet the right ones. Y'all ain't come around. Y'all did not grow up around the right people. And that's period. So no, Courtney would have never addressed Tisha in that way. It just wouldn't have been a thing. But Tisha gets her happy ass up and she leaves and she tells Tiffany, don't invite me to any more of this BS anymore.
You were the BS.
And she leaves. And I was like, bye, girl.
She
bye.
was the BS.
Bye.
But y'all, that was the halfway point of this season. As we mentioned earlier, the season's going to start back up in September. From the previews, second half looks like it's about to be some fun. It seems like we're going to see more Kiki. I know I'm speaking it early anyway.
No, I'm aren't we?
Yeah. More Scots, unfortunately. I really didn't see a lot of Martel.
Good.
And hopefully we get more Mel. You know, this is her show. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about the first half so far?
This was a long... Love and Marriage Huntsville seasons are so long. It's so drawn out. It's a lot. It's a lot of fluff to me in a lot of different areas. It's not a lot of scenes with a lot of substance. Y'all already know how I feel about the show as a whole. Very toxic. I don't know what the future is for Love and Marriage Huntsville. We started this season off by saying that exact same thing. I still don't know what the seasons in the future look like. We will see.
Yeah.
And then now they have their baby sister version of Huntsville, and they have Detroit, which is just as, if not worse, than Huntsville, with the toxic crap that they got going on over there. I don't know, like, them just continuing to perpetuate a lot of sexism and just hatred for women, and it's just really weird. I don't know.
I felt like the first half was a bit of a slow burner. I don't know if it's a slow burner because they're trying to prep these stories up for the second half where these stories are going to show their head and things are going to come about because of these storylines. Like I said, I hope the second half is not a slow burner. It looks like it's going to have some fireworks to it, put it that way. I didn't say substance. I just said some fireworks.
It just looks like we are going to have to come back here again and combat all of the negativity and sexism that they have going on. And so we'll continue to do that. That's the way that I'm choosing to look at it. I know for the longest I've been saying I don't even want to watch the show anymore because of how disgusting some of the stuff that happens on this show and like the direction that it's going. But I'm going to look at it like... just like how they're on here perpetuating a particular stereotype and narrative, it's our job to come on here and combat that. Like, we gonna have to come back on here and just challenge their foolishness.
We definitely appreciate y'all viewing this episode with us. Definitely, y'all let us know how y'all feel about the first half of this season in the comments. I want that definitely to be a discussion. Let me know what you're thinking about the characters, of course, the storylines. Give us some predictions, what y'all feel is going to happen in the second half of this season. Y'all continue to like and subscribe. Y'all been doing a great job. We really appreciate the love. We definitely have a lot in store for y'all. We're not going to reveal anything yet, but we do have a lot in store for y'all. Any parting words?
Nope, just make sure to put in our comments any shows that you would like for us to review. Yeah, that's it. That's a really quick announcement.
Okay, and just let you guys know again, as y'all may see, we are doing Ready to Love. So we just let out our first Ready to Love video. So y'all be sure to check that out because Ready to Love comes on Friday nights. So y'all be sure to check that out. But we appreciate y'all for joining us for another episode of Reality Check TV. It is summertime. It is hot. Y'all drink y'all water, stay in this shade, and stay off these hot streets.
Bye.